18-hour drive from the capital city of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and you are in the heart of the Afar region in the Horn of Africa. This is the hottest, continuously inhabited place on Earth, populated by a proud but marginalized nomadic tribe called the Afar.
Afar is has got one of the remotest, most difficult to reach communities in the world, I suppose. We live in a desert terrain, we live very scattered, and we live under conditions where mostly there are no roads.
Complications in pregnancy and childbirth are a leading cause of death and injury for women and girls in the Afar region.
She can't go into labour properly, and she could die in delivery. All people in the community know somebody who has died in child labour. They all know. It's well known.
One of these 12 women in the Afar will die in pregnancy or childbirth, and many more who survive difficult labours will end up living with obstetric fistula and other childbirth injuries.
Fistula is one of the nastiest birth injuries which the Afar have, and they have it because we don't have in any form any maternity service in much of the region.
I am Fatima Abubakar. I'm 30 years old. During my childbirth, I had pain and suffering for 9 days. I was at home and people came, but no one knew how to help me. I was so tired and we were very far from anything. I gave birth to a dead child. After that, my family had no hope for me. I was no longer productive. I suffered for 10 years with this fistula, and there was no one to stand beside me. Then Valerie found me. She took me to get the surgery, and I thank her for all she did for me.
We in Abda, we find these people because we've got our community workers everywhere, and they tell us about women who've got urine dripping, and the urine dripping is meaning that they're more than likely a fistula. And we check them, we take them by car, we take them to Addis, and the Addis Ababa Fistula Hospital treats them, and then we return them again. And they return a new woman, and full of happiness and joy. By and large, it's a success story, and by and large, that's not the only answer. The real answer is to prevent it. And to prevent it, this is the training and the networking and the equipping of traditional birth attendants. And these women are mobilising the community, they're working with the community, they're looking for pregnant women, they're doing antenatal checking. We've got 151 of these women, but certainly we need more, and certainly we need to go into other areas we haven't been in before.
Afar women have seen so many of their fellow women devastated by fistula that they are eager for birth attendant training. Once trained, these women not only save the lives of mothers and babies and prevent fistula, but they educate their men to do the same. To begin this cycle of transformation, one by one invests in birth attendant training at a cost of $100 per woman trained. A trained birth attendant like Halima is able to manage the prenatal care and deliveries of most Afar mothers. However, there are women whose labors require additional skill, and that is when Halima needs the assistance of a qualified midwife.
In a country like Ethiopia, where you have 85% of the population living in rural areas, where 95% of the births are happening at home, You need to be able to engage the community and gain their trust, and then have someone like a well-trained midwife to form a bridge between the community and the facilities. We know that in countries where there has been a big investment in midwives, we see a dramatic reduction in obstetric fistula.
Though there are over 2 million Afar people, they have no trained midwives from their own culture. One by One is supporting the first ever Afar student to attend a 3-year midwifery program. This level of training is nearly unheard of for women in the Afar, as most girls here spend their days hauling water and tending herds. Most would be lucky to have even a few spare moments for basic education. So training new and professional midwives is a major achievement for the village women and for the entire community.
We are just so thrilled to have a candidate from the Afar. I mean, just think of it. This is an Afar girl who has grown up in the Afar, who speaks the local language of the Afar, who the women will identify with, who knows that they're nomadic and all the different aspects. She will appreciate all these things of the culture. Our midwives will be trained to quite a high level. These midwives will be, they will be able to do manual removal of placenta. They'll be able to do a vacuum extraction of a baby. They'll be able to do breech births, twin births. So a lot of skills they will be able to carry out things in the countryside. But of course, when it comes to needing a caesarean section, then they'll be able to make that decision and refer that woman to the next level of health facility. Birth is a normal process most of the time, but when it goes wrong, it's a tragedy. We can stop this problem happening right where it is happening in the countryside.
The new Barbara May Maternity Hospital will have obstetric surgeons and the newly trained Afar midwives. They will be the next level of support for the trained birth attendants who bring laboring mothers when the need is urgent and life-threatening.
The midwife, that one is already now getting training, and they will come here and they will be the first in this hospital. This is the main operating room. This one will be delivery room, I mean. Delivery room. This is where the doctors stay. And this is the operating room. Every cesarean problem, we don't have a good, proper hospital looking after the woman is here. This is will be the first maternity center in Afar region, in whole Afar region.
This maternity center will serve 1.5 million people. Hundreds of lives will be saved each year. The lives of mothers and their babies. One by One is committed to ending fistula for the women and girls of Afar because fistula is treatable and it is preventable. With your help, one by one, we can end fistula. One hospital, one midwife, one birth attendant, one mother at a time.